You lacking confidence in your ability or skills in a particular situation in your life? Well, today I'm going to share perspective on this and how you can really make a difference in this area. So, if you stay until the end as well, I should mention I have an extra point for you then. I've been in situations where I didn't feel as confident, yet I felt like I was putting in a lot of effort. Places like the workplace, in corporate, in the public sector, in business, like putting so much effort in. And I got exhausted. I was just like, well, I've been working hard on this, and this, but I'm not getting recognized and not feeling as confident. And I started to notice as I've gone through the years that I wasn't working on the right skills. And when I started working on the right skills, that's when confidence grew. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But it's always an ongoing process, identifying the right skills that is going to give me the confidence in my life. And what I mean by this is I'll give an example from my own life. When I was starting my project management career, I was a project assistant and I'd spend hours and hours and hours like making it look nice, these little sheets look nice, doing some photocopying, making everything look great. And I didn't get any recognition for that. And quite rightly so. That's no disrespect to anyone who's doing that right now, but that's a very low value job. You've got to identify skills that are actually high value, are going to give value to other people. You've got to be smart with your effort. You've got to be intelligent. And that means identifying the right skills. And when you start developing the right skills, that's when your confidence goes. And what I started to establish when I built the skills I built were in my communication, being able to talk to people confidently in the workplace, being able to negotiate with people higher up than me and actually getting them to do work, sort of project work. And then I started getting promoted. I started getting opportunities, and I got very good with my skills in interviews and I got a better job. And then I was very good at communicating and confidently in that organization. And I kept getting pay rises instead of working hours and hours and hours doing little admin-y stuff that actually didn't give a lot of value. When I was able to communicate confidently, that's when I started growing. Now, you may know someone or you might be someone who's like, well, I spend hours doing all the paperwork and things like that. Well, okay, there may be parts of your job that needs to do it, but be really honest with yourself. What are the skills you really need to develop, whether it's in your professional or personal life, that are going to move you further, right? So, for example, in social situations, listening is a very good skill. When people are being listened to and they feel like you're actually there and present with them, that's a very, very good skill to have. That's going to build a lot of relationships. Now, not with everyone, of course, but it is going to build a lot more relationships than if you just got the skill of just like talking about rubbish or what was on the TV. There's skills at everything. There's a skill in watching TV. There's a skill in daydreaming. And that's not always a bad thing to do because you need to think about where you want to go in life. But there are skills at everything. And it's about identifying clearly what are the right skills for you. Now, how's it helping you doing the same thing again and again and not feeling like you're being progressing or being noticed? And you're starting to lack confidence in yourself because you're just staying stuck. Well, I was there when I was doing all these little like making bits of paper look nice, all these kind of things. And when I started identifying the right skills, that's when things changed. So I'm going to give you a process here to really think through in yourself. And again, it comes back to being honest about yourself. But I can tell you from my own experience, when you work on skills like I don't care what job you've got right now, if you can develop good skills in communication, you are going to do significantly better, right? Okay, it will vary from job to job on how well you can progress. It is an important skill, and there's many other important skills. And the skill is going to depend on what kind of job you got, and the most important. But communication is a universal one. Let me just share that with you, right? If you're thinking, oh no, I'm like an introvert, I'm a shy person, you're holding yourself back by giving yourself those labels. If you can develop the skill of communication, that's significantly going to improve. You don't have to do something Yeah, too strenuous each day. It's just a little bit on working that skill each day. So let's go through a few questions you can start, and an action you can start doing. The first one, ask yourself, what do you want? You can't go anywhere unless you know the direction. What do you want? Like, maybe you're in a job that makes you miserable. Maybe you're in a business that makes you miserable. Like, if you're in that situation, how can you change it? What other opportunities can you look for? What do you want is the first question, right? The second one is, even if you decide something you want and it seems far away, okay, great. At least you know you want it. What are the right skills you need? And I'll tell you in business, one that's key. And some people try and run away from it. Yeah, and it's something I'm trying to work on a lot. And I progress, but it's still. And in business, this is another example. Sales. People are like, I don't have to do sales. Like, that's ridiculous. If you've got a business, you've got to be good at sales, right? And people think of the negative connotations associated with it. No, it's a skill that you need to develop in business. Okay, you may or may not be in business. And people say, oh, I'm just not that kind of person, right? There are some essential skills in business and in a workplace to develop, but you've got to be honest with yourself. What do you want? And then the second question is, what are the right skills you need? And be very honest. One or two of them you may not necessarily want to have or be good at, but you've got to be honest. Do you have to be good? Now, obviously, if you were like a big business owner, there's going to be a time where you can start paying other people to do stuff. That's fantastic. Yeah. What is it what are the right skills you need right now? Whether, and this is if you're a business owner or you just, or you got a job, whatever, like, what are the right skills you need when you identify what you want? Like, it can apply for your personal life, say in dating and stuff, right? You have to identify what are the right skills. Your right skills are things like being able to listen to your date, like being able to have a laugh and joke with them, and be able to like understand different human behavior a little bit. All right. What are the skills you need to do in order to get what you want? And then the third one is, like, don't try and overload yourself, but what are perhaps the top 3 skills you need? And how can you practice them every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, right? How can you schedule that every single day? So let's use some examples from the process I just say. Say you are in a job and it's a job, like, say it's a finance job. That's just what came to the top of my head straight away, right? You want to grow in your finance career, right? Right. You want to grow to maybe like a finance manager, for example. Right. What are the right skills you need? Right. You definitely need to be able to communicate. Maybe you're like, oh no, I just do my job and I'm like, no, you need to develop your communication. If you can communicate well in the workplace, you have more chance of promotion. Believe me, I've done it several times, even though I didn't necessarily have the other skills, right? Just through the way I communicate. Okay. So what are the right skills you need? And there may be other ones. It's like, being able to manage a team, being able to use some kind of software in finance, maybe, right? That's really, really important for you to progress. What are the right skills you need? Maybe it's in business, right? So you want to start making, you're quite new and you'd like to start hitting $10,000 or £10,000 a month. Fantastic. Great. That's what you want. Right. What are the right skills? Well, you need to be able to market. You may not like marketing, but that's the reality. You've got to be able to market in business. As with sales, that's another skill. And then the other thing is delivering excellent customer service so people stay with you and you get a good reputation. Like, those are 3 essential skills, for example. Okay. And then, like, how would you schedule that in your day? For example, using the business example, you could be like, you could be learning about sales for 5 to 10 minutes a day and marketing. You could be really taking on board what customers are saying on other sides. Like, what can you do every day? And ideally, as well as learning, you take some kind of action as well. Maybe you message someone. Maybe you book a phone call with someone. Maybe you put a social media post out. Like, make sure you're learning as well as implementing. So Right, I'm not here to just say, "Oh, you can do it, you can do it." I'm just want to be real with you. You need to start developing the right skills to build your confidence. And when you start building the right skills, you'll have more confidence because you get more results because you're focusing on the right things. Okay, right. That's what I got for you, except my final point. Now, my final point is if you really want to know what the right skills are, model someone who is super successful in that area. It sounds very, very simple, but often we don't do the most simple things. Right. Think of someone who is where you would like to be, right? And what are the skills they have? It's not about you becoming them. You're you. Be proud of you, love you, have a good relationship with you, but start taking on board what some of the skills got them there, and therefore what some of the skills you need to develop along the way as well. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.